Hello and welcome to the special discussion on the AIDEM platform. Today we are discussing a special award, the Gandhi Peace Prize, carrying prize money of 1 crore. And it has been awarded to Gita Press, the Gorakhpur-based Hindi publishing unit, which is, of course, close to 100 years old. And it has this Gita Press has had a very important role in spreading the so-called Hindu values and Hindutva ideology. And of course, with me, I have Akshaya Mukul, the journalist scholar who has written the most definitive book on Gita Press, the book titled The Gita Press in the Making of the Hindu India. It was published a few years ago. But Akshaya, I thought that you are the best person to look at this award and the context in which it has been given. So what are your first reactions?
Well, I found it ironical, but then we are living in times where all kinds of things are happening. You know, Nehru is blamed for everything, and now we have Gita Press getting Gandhi Peace Prize. Well, what makes it even more ironical is that Gandhi and Gita Press had very close relationship. I must kind of tell you right in the beginning, especially the founding editor, who was the main person behind Gita Press, Hanuman Prasad Poddar. He had first met him as a 15-year-old boy when Gandhi was returning. So, Poddar, who's the founding editor of Gita Press's monthly Kalyan, and he's the one who gave it the national and international recognition. He was the man behind Gita Press in many, many ways, although the founder was Jayadayal Goenka, who was his distant relative. Yeah. And Poddar and Gandhi shared very close relationship till 1932. Once the kind of Pune Pact happened and the temple entry movement began, and since then till 47, 48, their relationship completely deteriorated, and they kept on attacking Gandhi on the pages of Kalyan, and privately as well, in private correspondence as well as in Kalyan, he was constantly attacked. And the worst irony is that of the thousands of people who were arrested after Gandhi's assassination, Hanuman Prasad Poddar and Jayadayal Goenka too were arrested. And when a big Marwadi industrialist Badridas Goenka sought help of Ghanshyam Das Birla, was very close to Gandhi, Birla refused. He said these two are not doing Sanatan Dharma but Satan Dharma. So this is ironical that Gandhi Peace Prize goes to Gita Press, whose founders had this kind of a dubious relationship with Gandhi and whatever Gandhi stood for.
Yeah, in fact, the kind of involvement that they had with the people who conspired to assassinate Mahatma Gandhi, that's also well recorded. Could you throw some light on the details of that?
See, that I tried looking for it in the sense, if you find the Gita Press records, the private papers of Hanuman Prasad Poddar, not so much Gita Press, his private papers to which I had access, you will find that a few days before that he is in Delhi. The district magistrate of Gorakhpur is telling him that you need not be here, don't be in Gorakhpur. All that is happening, and the Gita Press blamed another Gandhian who was involved with Gita Press initially, but he couldn't kind of get along with Hanuman Prasad Poddar and left, and his name was Mahabir Prasad Poddar. He was a big Gandhian, he wrote many books, he was a spiritual person, and they blamed Mahabir Prasad for this Poddar for this canard, that he is spreading the canard about our involvement in Gandhi assassination. So this is the kind of thing. Beyond that, one didn't find. But what is very interesting is silence of Kalyan, which was a monthly, for the 2 months. Only in April of January, we find they are republishing some old articles of Gandhi, and they're talking about Gandhi, what Gandhi meant and all. But you could see it was that the warmth, the way what Gandhi meant for them in the 20s, it no longer was the same thing. Gandhi was just a name for them. Yeah.
So what was the finer difference in terms of Gandhi's perception of Hinduism and the Gita Press. I think that is one of the main things that you address in the book.
Yes. Yes. So one of the first thing I'll tell you, one is that before that, let me just tell you, Gandhi gave them two-piece advice when he went to seek blessings of Gandhi. Gandhi said for the journal, never take advertisement and never do book reviews. Kalyan till date doesn't take advertisement and doesn't do book reviews. Gandhi had argued that, if you take advertisement, you will not know they make false claims, these advertisements, and once money starts coming, you will not be able to stop it. And book reviews, he said, you can't do a honest review, and if you do honest review, you'll annoy people, you will antagonize people, so don't do it. They never did it. But having said that, their difference was, for instance, say Gandhi's understanding of Gita itself. It was called Anasakti Yoga. So they refused to kind of publish it because Gandhi refused to see Gita as a historical text, and that became kind of so they always saw it as a historical text. He refused, and therefore they never kind of published Gandhi's understanding or Gandhi's thing of Gandhi's perspective on this thing. Yeah. Second thing was, which was very important, which happened in 1932, was Pune Pact. Now, here is Gandhi, who goes on fast because he doesn't want separate electorates for untouchables. And he goes on a fast, and then temples start opening their doors. Interdining starts in many parts of India. And Podar, who was very close to him, in fact, Podar had helped Devdas Gandhi. He had taken care of Devdas Gandhi in Gorakhpur jail around the same time when he was in jail. But he wrote a scathing letter. He wrote a scathing letter to Gandhi saying that, what are you doing? People don't even understand what they're doing. Just by entering temple, you don't become pure. For that, you have to wear fresh clothes. You have to wash yourself. You don't have to feast on animal meat. These things. And he even reminded Gandhi that, look, you are now become a big votary of interdining. But what happened in the 1920s, you wrote in Navjivan that, just by sharing plate, you don't become same. What happened to that? And Gandhi, being Gandhi, said, well, don't go by my words, go by my action. And Gandhi was constantly evolving. Gandhi said, yes, I said it, but now I'm saying I'm saying something else. And Gandhi refused to budge. This created kind of, they didn't know what to do. So Gandhi was attacked in Kalyan. Then what happened? Then Gandhi went a step further. Gandhi went for a wedding in one of his ashrams where the priest was Harijan. And this completely, to use the current day phrase, it freaked them out that what is happening. And then he writes to someone, I think one writer, saying that Gandhi is a Western sadhu in an Indian dress. And I don't have to agree with anything. But still, you can see that till mid-30s, late 30s, there's some bit of personal warmth between them. He is kind of, he dreams about Gandhi being a, and he writes to Gandhi, and Gandhi says, oh, you're very kind. Why should I live for 100 years? So those things. But my 40s, when we are sure of independence and partition is looming large, Gandhi is doing all kinds of things. He goes to Noakhali, he goes on fast. And these people, Kalyan and everyone, blames him entirely for doing the double speak. First saying that we'll not let this country get divided, and then agreeing for Pakistan. And then we know 48 what happened. So this is the kind of larger disagreement. The caste is one, because Gita Press's core philosophy is it believes in Sanatan Hindu Dharma, which is Chaturvarna system. If you see, some of their writings, Podar's writings on what happens, why untouchables should not interdine or go to temple, he says because they touch, they clean toilets and all this, so there are worms in their body. So these are the kind of description. Then their attack on Ambedkar, they mercilessly attacked Ambedkar throughout. For number of the main grouse was on Hindu Code Bill, of course, because they thought a Dalit, and they will always specify a Dalit who is married to a Brahmin whenever it came to Ambedkar. A Dalit married to, and he'll call Heen Varna. That's a word they use for. So this larger caste thing, and had Gandhi been alive, their differences would have come out more in open on communal issue and various things. So there was a basic fundamental difference, and he had fallen for him for his simplicity, his knowledge, his wisdom, and the way Gandhi had opened doors for him. But it was not to be. By 1930s, Gandhi was evolving constantly. Gandhi was questioning, and the problem was, as he wrote to someone, that they also knew that he is a follower of Sanatan Dharma. Gandhi was a follower of Sanatan Dharma, so they could not deal with him. They said, what do we do with this man?
It was not like dealing with Nehru, who was an agnostic.
Yeah, who was a secular. He was a man who's saying, I'm Sanatan Dharma. I believe in Sanatan Dharma, yet he opens his doors and windows for progressive ideas. What do you do to him? So they didn't know how to deal with him, actually.
So there is also a larger dichotomy in the current dispensation. When you look at the Gandhi Peace Foundation, Gandhi Peace Prize being given to something like the Gita Press, and at the same time, of course, one knows what Gita Press stood for. This Chaturvarnya, and of course the Brahminical hegemony it kind of represents. That is what Gita Press essentially stood for. But now, when you open the new parliament, you have the non-Brahmin priests coming and giving their changol to the prime minister, the new power that be. So there is a kind of mixed messaging that's happening here, and there is a lot of mixed signals going here. What do you think of that?
It's a very interesting question. Gita Press, right from 1923 onwards, fashioned itself as a kind of sole spokesperson of the Hindus. So in the process, they will not talk about the thing that you mentioned, non-Brahmin priest coming. They will paper over it. Because even at the peak of Gita Press in the 30s and 20s and 40s, you will find there were various voices in the larger Hindu nationalist pantheon. Hindu Mahasabha was in favor of temple entry.
Yeah.
So they will Gita Press. Savarkar was. So they will never attack these organizations on the pages of Kalyan, because the thing was, they write from the very first issue of Kalyan in 1926 August. They said Hindus have lagged behind because unlike Muslims, we don't have Sangbal. So we have to talk together. Their problem was that we have too many gods and too many sects and too many voices. And that's what weakens Hindus. So Gita Press will conveniently not talk about it. Gita Press will paper, they will not celebrate it either. They'll just ignore it. And that's how Gita Press has been. The differing voices. So you will find Hindu Mahasabha people writing in Kalyan. They will not write on issues on which they had difference of opinion, but they'll write on so many things they agreed upon. Yeah. So this is what was happening. Even Digvijay Nath wrote, and their belief system was completely different. Nath Sampradaya and what Gita Press was doing.
Absolutely.
Nath Sampradaya had lower caste people, even Muslims were there. But Gita Press didn't stand for it. But they had this. So this choreography was happening all along, right from 1926 onwards, and continues to do so now.
So, but what is the thrust? What do you think is the thrust? As somebody who has looked at Hindutva very closely, somebody who has looked specifically at Gita Press, and of course the larger Hindutva structure. So, what is the what is the thrust? Is the thrust on Chaturvarnya? Is it on Brahminical hegemony, or is it on a kind of more egalitarian caste system?
It's of course on Chaturvarna system, on which they have not moved. They have gone silent on many things. For instance, on sati, because it's patently illegal. It's like banned. So they will not talk on all those things. But yes, the larger thing which Gita Press does is, and it has been doing right from 1926 onward. 1923 they started, but the journal started in 26, which is their main vehicle, is taking the message of larger Hindu nationalist groups to ordinary Hindu homes. Not everyone who reads Kalyan, or in English Kalyan Kalpataru, which is very popular in Tamil Nadu, and I don't know about Kerala, but I met so many people in Chennai once when I had gone to give book talk, and they were reading Kalyan Kalpataru. And you have to give it to Gita Press that they were ahead of the curve, ahead of others, to think in mid 1930s to bring out a journal in English for diaspora and non-Hindi speaking people. So they had Kalyan Kalpataru. So this their biggest.
Gita Press publications were popular in Kerala also, not among all sections
Yeah.
of society, but it was
Oh, yes, absolutely. They have translated all the texts in Malayalam.
Yeah.
Most of the texts are in Malayalam.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that carrying this message to ordinary Hindu homes, not everyone who reads gets influenced. The old women in the family read it because they want to know the celestial position to do this fast or that fast. So it will give you everything. Plus, it is full of these stories, moral stories, which we read as a school kid, moral science, you did this, so you'll get it. So, and at all flashpoints of history, their choreography starts. You see from 1926 till now, at all flashpoints, they connect with the larger Hindu nationalist network and carry their message to ordinary Hindu household. And that has been the reset. So you look at Pune Pact, entire 40s, when this national movement is at its peak, communalism is happening, Hindu Code Bill, then you see Ram Janambhoomi movement, then you see cow protection movement. The cow protection, one of the biggest violence which happened in Delhi when the house of Kamraj and everyone was attacked was the
60s.
cow protection movement, of which, in the 60s.
Yeah.
And Hanuman Prasad Poddar was a key functionary of that Go Raksha Samiti. So they have been doing it all in 50. Can you believe it? First general election, and subsequently many elections. Before election, their issue says, vote kise kare. For a journal whose motto is Bhakti, Gyan or Vairagya, devotion, knowledge and renunciation.
Yeah.
And they will not name a party. So
Yeah.
in 51, because they were upset with Nehru, Prabhudat Brahmachari contested against Nehru from Phulpur, and they said that we will support anyone who does bans cow slaughter, who does this. And Prabhudat Brahmachari was the person. And so they have been doing even as late as 2014 election. My book was just going to press. It was almost ready when the issue came, and we had to change it in the epilogue. They said who to vote for. Again, they're saying cow slaughter. Again, and when few states after they came to power banned all the cow slaughter, Maharashtra and others, they said, oh, we are almost there. And can you believe it? This is the dream. They've always wanted a Hindu party with complete majority to rule. So they're like, they just got what they always wanted. So it's a peak moment for them.
Yeah. So you of course looked at the historical factors and kind of pointed out how Gandhi's position was different from the Gita Press position from the 1930s onwards. But can you tell us how, in terms of value system, how different is the Gita Press value system from Gandhi's value system?
In many ways, let's take women. Let's take women, for instance, of which I have to do a whole chapter. Gandhi with all his Sanatan Dharma thing. Just look at the women around Gandhi, who were very close to him, with whom he was interacting. Some of them were Congress leaders, some of them were social workers, from Kamla Devi Chattopadhyay to Rehana Tayyabji to everyone. They were great. They were women who were breaking barriers, who were ahead of their times. Here is, if you look at Gita Press's idea of women, let me tell you, 1926, they brought out a 42-page pamphlet called Stri Dharm Prashnotari, which is basically questionnaire on women issue. And it's a conversation. It's a fictionalized conversation between Sarla, the simpleton, and Savitri, who is supposed to know it all. And what is he saying? What should women do? That pamphlet, that monograph of 42 pages continues to sell even now. We are in 2023. It's nearly 100 years. That tells you the impact of Gita Press. Look at the Nari Ank, which came in the 40s. It continues to get reprinted. It is their annual issue. Every year they have an annual issue in the beginning of the year. And so on, women. And the refusal to change your opinion. That's the biggest difference. Gandhi is constantly evolving. Gandhi is having conversation on Banaspati. Gandhi refuses, despite their best attempts. Gandhi says, I will not kind of say that ban cow slaughter by law. And they write it. this whole cow slaughter is not happening because the Gandhi bhakts have gone this thing and Gandhi didn't want it to be done by law. So on various things, women, cow, caste, we have already known how Gandhi was evolving, and on communal issue too. Gandhi is saying things which people they can't, and yet he is a Sanatan Dharmi. So that because he's an insider who is so much of an outsider,
Right.
who refuses, who's constantly challenging them. Yeah.
And that is why he's a bigger threat than.
He's a bigger threat. If you know that someone doesn't belong to you, you will deal with them, differently. But he's someone who believes in rituals, yet challenges you all the time.
Yeah, but like all other icons of the freedom movement, starting from Bhagat Singh to Ambedkar, the Hindutva combine or the Sangh Parivar has kind of systematically appropriated each and every symbol, and of course created a new history around them. I mean, in fact, even Bhagat Singh's even his poster and the way he dresses have been changed. Yeah. So
True.
do you think that this Gandhi Peace Foundation will now lead to a new way of looking at Gandhi from a kind of?
I don't think so. So many attempts have been made on Gandhi. Nothing will happen. Gandhi stands tall. Nobody can reach his height. They can try whatever way. It's Gandhi will be Gandhi. Gandhi will remain. Gandhi will survive us. Gandhi will survive many next generation, many more generations. So I don't think Gandhi will remain. Gandhi's scholarship will remain, and this whole appropriation will continue. But nobody will see Gandhi differently.
But in the last question, what do you think is the final imprint or impact of this award, and how is it going to help Gita Press and its values?
Well, now it becomes more popular. It is already very popular. It will get more. It's a very philanthropy. It runs on a very no profit, no loss basis. So I see them doing very well. I see them having better press. They're already ahead of the times in terms of technology. I don't know. I'm not sure about the payment that they make to the workers. I still keep in touch with some of the workers who have very sad stories to say about their salary and all. Not even before this prize, the very fact that this party came to power, this government being in power, this was good enough for them. More and more people will fund them, and Marwadis will do it. It's a Marwadi trust which runs it. They will do well. I see a bright future for them ahead. But and nobody will.
Beyond the institution, I think there has been a systematic regression in terms of the value system that India's freedom movement represented, India's constitution.
Yes.
So I think do you think it will give a fillip to that kind of process?
Yes, it will. It will. In fact, I see their books, and someone told me, and this is a very dear friend of mine who's a bureaucrat in UP cadre, who told me, who knows, they'll start kind of recommending their pamphlets on Veer Balak, Veer Yodha, Veer Mahilaएं in schools. It will become part of the pedagogy. Who knows?
That's a very popular series, actually.
Very popular series, very popular series on what a woman should do, what a young girl should do, what a young boy should do. So I get them getting part into the classroom. I see them getting into the classroom, and this
which means that the impact of the ideology, the Hindutva ideology, will be further strengthened, and it will become more widespread.
Yes, it will be.
So it's all part of the orchestration which started in the 1920s and 1930s. It's continuing strong.
That's how it was built. Brick by brick, they laid the foundation, and now we see the entire buildings right in front of us. So it has been done. You're right. It's taken 100 years, but they've built it.
Well,
an institution.
As somebody who has chronicled the history of Gita Press and then kind of linked it to the modern Indian times and looked at how the kind of regressive impact it has had on our society, I think you will continue to do your good work, and we'll keep talking to you on a more regular basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkitesh. It was lovely.